Hey there, folks. Welcome back. Talking today about robots. Now, I've talked about drones before and the weaponizing of drones and about shooting down drones and if you should or not. I've done a few of those things. Today, I'm talking more specifically about robots in general. Should you be concerned about robots? Should you be worried as a prepper looking forward into the future? This doesn't mean it's going to happen next week, but it could be 10 years, 20 years from now, who knows? Are you going to have to contend with weaponized robots? Because all the time, this is looking more and more like a reality. Now, you've all seen the one that looks like a giant Weeble, and that Weeble-looking unit is actually a K5. And the K5 is the one, I've seen these actually patrolling malls in Atlanta, in and around the Atlanta area. They patrol the malls. I've seen them out in parking lots. They're seen a lot in California, roaming the streets, and that is essentially a big surveillance unit, but it's a very efficient surveillance unit because it can have 360-degree camera angles. It can use thermals. It has an odor sensor. It can record smells. It copies license plates. It can process more than 300 license plates a minute to tell who you are or where you are. It has facial recognition technology, and it's autonomous. It's not being controlled by anyone. It just goes, and when it starts to run down on battery power, another one comes along, and then it goes back to a charging station on its own. If anything happens to the unit, then an alert goes out, and there's a team, a hit team, if you will, that's designed to protect the unit, which it isn't that easy to hurt one of these K5 things. Quite frankly, they weigh over 300 pounds and they have a very low center of gravity. So you really have to know what you're doing if you want to, say, tip one over, just saying. And they don't discuss it. The company that manufactures these don't discuss it, but they are capable of being equipped with defensive mechanisms such as tasers and aerosols for now. More so, what I'm looking at is platforms. Now, you've seen there's also platform-style drones, and they're basically rovers. But if you've got a vehicle with a platform, you can put a lot of things on it. You can put a lot of things on top of a platform to weaponize that platform and use it for offensive capabilities. Now, jumping over to Boston Dynamics. Now, Boston Dynamics, if you don't have stock in it yet, get it while you can, has been revolutionizing mobile robotics, and that is a robot that emulates human or animal behavior. That is, it has legs so that it is more autonomous than, say, something that rolls on the ground. These can also be equipped with weapons. Now, this is the dog, and this is the small dog in this video clip, and they're just doing a test run of models that are coming off the assembly line. These are much smaller than the type of robotic dog that you normally see from Boston Dynamics or a company like it. Look at the low profile on this thing. This is like a large cat. The problem has always been with robots, power, but that is getting to be a thing of the past. And again, this can go and charge itself. So if it starts running down, another one comes and takes its place on guard duty per se, and then it goes back and charges itself. And it doesn't need to be looked in on or checked up on or anything, because if something happens to it, an alert will go out. It's not like if you jumped a guard and he has at least until he would have to check in before anybody noticed he was gone. These things will send out a signal the moment that they're interfered with, or the moment that they think something funny is going on. And like I said, there is actually a team assigned to these things. In the malls where I have seen these drones roaming around on the open floors, there's also what looks like a tactical team that walks around the mall that is connected to that drone. They really kind of work for the robot, and they are wearing body armor. They're heavily armed. Think about that. Now, this particular dog model, as you're looking at here, this is no joke. That black strip on its back is a mounting platform, and there you see it mounted with a rifle. Look at the low profile at the end of this when it lays down back into position, and you hear a tippity tap, and that is because it's walking around on bricks, but that can be fixed by these little boots that they have for it. So you won't hear this thing. You won't hear it. You won't be able to see it because it's too low, and it's not that easy to pick it off as a target. I mean, you'd have to be a pretty good shot. If you were dealing with something like this, catch it up in a net, use a shotgun, something like that. Not telling you any suggestions, not trying to give anybody any ideas, but just throwing it out there. I can't say too much about disabling equipment like this. Spray paint is an alternative. Paintballs are an alternative for blinding sensors and such. Just saying, again, not telling anybody what to do, but I do have to be careful about giving too many suggestions as to how you would defeat a system like that. Flashing lights are also very confusing, as are laser pointers. And I think I've said too much already. There's more, but I think I better stop right there before I end up getting in trouble. So, are they a threat right now? Not necessarily, but I can see a future where they can be a threat. Keep in mind that because of the way laws are written, you legally cannot weaponize a drone or a robot, but your government certainly can. Corporations can for their own security purposes, and law enforcement can if they so choose, and we're getting to that point. We're getting to that point. All it needs is the right lawmaker's signature on the right piece of paper. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. It's important really to just be aware of this kind of stuff, and that's why I'm talking about it right now. As I pointed out, the problem has always been power consumption. But we are moving away from that. That has become very advanced in the last few years, so that we have robots and drones that can go longer and longer periods without having to recharge. Thoughts? Feel free to post your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about all of that? Do you think that's a major concern? Do you think I'm taking things too far? Do you think it's so far in the future you don't have to worry about it? Or do you think it's kind of serious? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. I hope that you did. Share it if you can, probably the only way it will get seen. This is a very oppressed channel. ScrewTube does not like me. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of the other videos. You may find something interesting. If you saw random cat images, they are strays that my wife and I take care of, and pictures of them actually help with the loading algorithm on YouTube, believe it or not. If you wanted to help the channel out, every little bit helps, and I sure do appreciate it. There are links for that down below. And if that's it, what more can I say? But stay frosty, folks, and thanks for watching.